Hey everybody, we got the old LEGO Dimensions game out again, and we wanted to do another fun pack review. This one is number 71216. It's Naya and the Samurai Mech. I think I mentioned when I had reviewed the Zane fun pack that I wasn't a collector of Ninjago, but I do think that the printing and the outfits for Ninjago characters are outstanding. All of them are martial arts based, hence why the Ninjago title. Now what I think is really cool about this minifigure is the red wrap that goes around the front of her face. Kind of reminds me of a bandana that the bandits would wear during some old Western movies. Now of course Naya gets her own game piece, and the emblem that you see right in the center of her torso is what's on the game piece as well. And that's an armored-looking plate that she's wearing with her sash wrapped around her waist and a very busy pattern. Now she has the horns sticking out of her headpiece, the shoulder pads, and she has 2 swords. I'll remove the headpiece so you can get a good look at her face. Here's the back of Naya, and she does have an alternate face. And the colors in the alternate face match the colors of her outfit. And when she's not holding the swords, they will cross nicely in the accessory that goes on her back. Here's what our Naya character looks like without the accessory pack on. She does have the red and green printing with some definition in the back of her torso. It's the same armor that you've seen in the front of her torso with the crest on it. And you can see the red sash that wraps around her waist that she has tied in the front. Now the mech is a very close resemblance to the minifigure. It has 2 samurai swords, the horns on the top of the head, and those arms and legs will fold out or move forward and back because they're on ball joints. I'll flare out the arms and legs just to demonstrate the ball joint. And here's the mech in a running motion. Here's a look from the back, which will give you a good view of those shoulder protectors that were sort of hidden by the samurai swords in the front. There are no stickers or any additional printed tiles. Now the parts on the bottom can make this mech freestanding if you want to take it off of the stand. But as you play with this mech, you really can't put Naya inside the mech to control it. Now here's the next build. Our Samurai Mech turns into a samurai shooter. You can see the blue studs in the front, which is where you would use to shoot things from. The samurai still has the swords for attack, and the legs down at the bottom do fold out like we demonstrated on the Samurai Mech. And the backside of our samurai shooter shows a small propulsion system. And even though we're on a post, the whole thing will spin around. But there is a Technic pin in the middle of this whole build. So you can actually keep the feet stationary. And the whole top of the mech can rotate 360 degrees. Now, if you're wondering in this particular build, what's the front and what's the back? Well, this extra piece hanging down that doesn't have anything attached to those exposed studs, that's like a tail or the backside of the character. Here, I put our samurai shooter back to its normal configuration. And just like our mech, those claw pieces holding the samurai swords can move up and down as well. I can reposition them to give it a totally different look. But again, in this build, you cannot actually use Naya in or on the mech. And for our final build for this particular fun pack, Naya's mech turns into the Soaring Samurai Mech. There are no arms on this particular model. The swords are just clamped on to those claw clips up top in the front. The legs are again on those ball joints, so they will move in and out, forward and back. Now the crest is actually placed in the back of our Soaring Samurai Mech instead of in the front. And those blue cones hanging down on each side, well, that's where the propulsion comes from, so it can lift in the air and fly around. And once again, in this build, there's no place for Naya to sit or hang on to the mech. So you have to play with them as completely separate parts outside of the game. Alright, we looked at the Ninjago fun pack of Naya and all 3 builds of her Super Mech Warrior. I think that I like the Samurai Mech, or the first version, the best. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. Leave some comments below. We have some cards and links in the description so you can check out some of our other content. Make sure to share with your family and friends. Give us a thumbs up if you had enjoyed this review, and we hope you'll subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. We appreciate you supporting us. Well, I'm off to play some more LEGO Dimensions, power up some other fun packs, so we can bring you more reviews. Thanks for joining us. Keep on building, and we'll speak to you in the next video.